Hey there everyone, today I'm going to be doing an event guide for the Corrupted Light event. Now this event changed after the original release, I believe, because I found it really easy before it came out, and now it's really tricky. So I'm not going to be so great doing this event guide. I haven't had a successful run yet without any deaths, but yeah, so my normal setup here, you might see there's a difference with the element stuff, the way it's shown now, and then here you have all the, you click a skill and you can go to the runes here. That's because it comes in the next update, which isn't out yet. And so yeah, I am using the skill rune versions of the skills. Specifically on the fireball, that's actually a shadow ball, which will do increased damage to the light enemies. So without further ado, let's look at the event items quickly. Exactly the same kind of set bonus as previous sets, and I think the stats are pretty much the same across the board. But yes, the 8-piece set bonus is like the old Pharaoh set, which was my favourite set bonus ever. It's a huge sword comes crashing down, big area of effect, stuns all enemies. But this one happens less frequently. It's got a cooldown of 45 seconds, so you're not going to be seeing it that often, but it is great when it happens. So starting off, when you go in here, you've got some enemies right in the middle here. You're going to be constricted so much with where you can run. These little paths here, most of the green is actually hills. It's difficult to see, but if you try and run here, you'll see you can't actually. Same the other side, you're pretty much constricted to what the dirt track is, and for that reason I like to go on the left hand side of the map because it's slightly more open. That first encounter is fairly easy, no point going into it. This next one is very tricky. You face this guy, and as soon as you kill him, all the other enemies die, so you want to focus on him. But the problem is, if you don't have enough damage output, which I don't, he will keep spawning enemies, and he gets very tricky to take down. Now he spawns only small enemies. The big one that's with him doesn't respawn. So I do like to take him down just to make my life a little bit easier. I'm going to have to use potions throughout this to recover my mana, and generally because I don't have any way to recover my health. I'm going to be dying. So they've all got this attack. The big enemies have this attack called Light Strike. Now basically what this does, it's not very clear, but it does an attack to all characters nearby. So no matter what side you're on, it will hit all of you if you're in a party, and yeah, it does a lot of damage. So if they say Light Strike you, make sure you get out of there. It didn't really show him using it properly there. Also, this is quite laggy. It does a huge amount of damage, so make sure if you're on that, do get out of there as soon as possible, and quite often, even if you run out range of it, it will hit you. So I like to teleport out most of the time. You can see I really stupidly put a fire drake right in there, which got killed almost immediately. Now I drew the next boss, I really shouldn't have done that, but the next boss is incredibly irritating because he will do melee attacks that instantly kill your drake. It's like a what do you call it? A knight's cleave. So do not go into melee with that boss. And I'm going to try and take down Daragan right here. Put down the drakes next to him. Yes, he's down. Okay. Right, we're going to ignore that death. We're now into the second mini boss. This one again is quite tough. The final boss fight is fairly easy, so as soon as you've got past him, you've pretty much done the event. So I'm going to run down around another loop here, just to give me some space. Alright, the archers also do a ton of damage to me. If you have slightly more dodge, it will help a lot for this. They do about a quarter of my health each hit, and always hit, so I have a lot of trouble with that. Alright, now, use a potion, circle around, teleport away, just dodge that. This guy, now, the way they made this harder is they made Baragan and this guy, Major Anselm, spawn enemies. They didn't used to, they used to just run around, and once you've taken down the other enemies, it was just them left. But as you can see, from time to time, they spawn 3 extra enemies. They take down your drakes faster. For me, because they do a lot of damage, the ranging ones are a big problem. But yeah, if you can take down the bosses quickly, it helps a lot, because you don't have to keep taking out the extra enemies that are spawning. So now, up here, I like to draw the enemies down into this area here. This is just my killing zone for the entire event. So I'm just going to run up here, get them coming down. Now, the boss will keep summoning these guys here, but I do like to take them down because they take down the drakes too fast otherwise. You can see that that's the set bonus just setting off. Alright. Shadow Ball is good for dealing extra damage, but when you're facing a single target, if you spam it too much, it will drain your mana. So try and limit yourself from using it. I just use Incinerate and Fire Drake basically. And then the odd teleport. Yeah, you can see now he's spawned another one. Gonna have to put a protection bubble on. It's a good thing because he's the light strike as well. Alright. I am glad, actually, that I've managed to pretty much do this event. I did a few test runs just now and I failed really badly. Such a shame because when I originally played this, it was so easy, I didn't die at all. They have now nerfed the drakes a little bit. Not sure if you noticed, but instead of doing sort of 600 and stuff, 600,000 and stuff that they used to, they now do about 400,000. So I think they've found out some, they've developed some kind of balance, so they don't always do just increase the damage they do. So now they're more scaled properly, which is good. I'm glad about that because wizards were getting a bit too good with it all. Oh, whoops! Oh no! Come on! It teleported me right next to the boss. That is not where I aimed it. Sometimes that happens with teleport, and I don't really know why. Alright, there we go. Event over. So let's see what we got from the box. And then I'll go on to the Archer and Knight run. I haven't run them since the event was made harder, so not sure how they are on it. But hopefully they won't be too tough. They have also brought out these event skins, which I don't know how many runs you have to do to get them. You can't reopen the box, but you need, I think, 45 of the Celestial Mage, 60 of that. It would be too expensive for me to do, so I'm not going to do it. But good luck to you all if you're going for that. Oh wow, I got the wand. That is a good one. Alright, now on to the Archer run. So just before we start the Archer run, I just want to say, as a wizard, I would strongly recommend using a cooldown potion and a damage potion. You can easily find them on maps, so it's not a problem. And just because you need to take down those enemies faster, and the drakes being able to spam them, I'd say that's just, you need that defense. It's too tough otherwise. So I strongly recommend that. And also when you place down your drakes, if the enemy's there and you're sort of stood here, make sure you put the drake over here, because the enemy will run over to the drake first before getting to you, and they're not getting any closer to you in all that time. So you have more time to attack before you have to move out of there. So with the Archer setup, I would go with these skills here, and that's because well, originally I was trying the Spreading Darkness, which is the Spread Shot Dark skill rune. It does a knockdown on the enemies, but I don't find that very effective because with the knockback from Granite Spike that you're using, basically that keeps all those small enemies back. You don't really need that extra knockdown, and you're just going to be doing so much more damage when you attack all the enemies with Granite Spike. So yeah, Decoy is really good. It survives a really long time, a lot better than Drakes do. So that will be your main defensive skill for this. And otherwise, the others will just help wipe out the enemies really quickly. It is a lot easier than playing as a wizard from my testing. So yeah, hopefully we'll get a clean run. Alright, so you start by placing down all those skills, and then basically just attack. The Corrupted Captain will get knocked back really frequently, so they don't really get to you, which is very nice. Wizards don't get that with the Drakes. I forgot to Mark of Death. Wasted the Mark of Death as well. So I like to Mark of Death Berrigan here, because he's the main target to take down, and he actually will pretty much always run into where the decoy is. So you will be attacking the other enemies with your Granite Spike and stuff. Alright, and I also put a decoy the other side there. You saw I like to I like to run away to where the other side of that little loop is, and then place a decoy over there. It keeps them all away pretty much stops you from dying in this battle, and then you can do this sort of little loop round here, which will give you enough time to take out the enemies. This is with an underpowered setup, so I'm pretty sure if you have more damage, that's a nice clean way to do it. Alright, now, to draw out this guy, all these enemies nicely line up, so you can get them all with the granite spike. And otherwise this one, oh no! I did not realise it would go at that range. This guy's nasty. But yeah, this sort of encounter, the way I like to do it is focus on lining the enemies up. So just always make sure you're attacking all the enemies at once, and you'll keep their numbers down massively. So you can focus on just the boss. But yeah, you can see, look, he's having some trouble taking down the decoy, which Drake's he just wipes out in like one hit. And there we go, that's that encounter. Much easier than a wizard. Alright, now for this one up here, I'll put a decoy out before, just so that I'll have another one nearly cooled down when it comes out. And again, I like to take down these captains, focus a bit of damage on them. Don't have to take them down like fully, because you will usually get them with the granite spike, but I don't want them to be sticking around for too long. They seem to be really caught up there. There's so much trouble with these decoys. Decoy for ages was not very good, and I put it on for this event, thinking it wouldn't really be that much help, but maybe that was the saving factor, and it turned out to be really good. So everyone put the decoy back on. Alright, as you can see, nice easy finish. Shouldn't take too long now. I don't really like archers for the fact that you do just do basic attack a lot, but it does work very effectively in some events especially, so I would recommend just spamming that basic attack with your granite spike and sniper. Those two skills together just do brilliantly for the archer. Alright, now what do we get? Do we get the quiver? Just like for the wizard. We get 3 dragon stones. Okay. And just to mention as well, I'm wearing the artifact curio, so my stats are as follows. And that's because the curio was in a recent event, so everyone should have it really. Yeah. So now moving on to the knight run. As a knight, I like to use the defensive skills and the maim. I'm using the Shadow Blade skill rune. Now, I've heard from others that actually this doesn't change the standard damage to elemental damage. It only changes the additional stuff. So apparently it's not very good, but I don't know. I can't really tell when I use it, so I don't know if it's doing amazing damage or not. But anyway, I use that because you need to kill single targets. And this is the new skill rune, the Shadow Whirl. It's brilliant because it means you can attack while using the whirl. I won't use this for the majority of the event. I'm just going to show it at the beginning because it's absolutely insane, and then I'll switch it out to cleave. So yeah, the other three skills I use for almost everything. And just show you the stats of my knight. I'm not wearing any appearance gear. Well, sorry, I'm wearing a few. This is because I'm class promotion 100. So my stats are about what they should be, but the defenses should be a bit higher, and health and stuff, because you would normally have the extra bonuses from these stats, whereas class promotion is more of a sort of average overall. So yeah, basically, I'm going to be slightly less defensive than I should be for a knight, but it doesn't really. This event doesn't pose too many problems for a knight. You just have to wait for your defensive skills a bit, and other than that, it's okay. So yeah, I'm going to use the Shadow Whirl skill rune right here at the beginning. See, I'm just attacking the main guy. It killed pretty much all the other enemies. It's incredible, absolutely incredible. It does 80%. I don't know how frequently that is, but it does a lot of damage without really doing much. It's got a slow startup animation, so you've got to be careful when you first use it, just to make sure it has actually been used, and then yeah, you can just go in and use it. Carry on attacking, I mean. Alright, so we're going to focus on the boss here, well, the mini boss. Keep maiming him when you can, cleave until the enemies are dead, and I like to wait using wait until he uses that big attack for the second time before you use the angelic form, and yeah, you should be able to take him down. Otherwise, run a loop round and sort of wait for your defensive skills to come back. Now here, angelic form, annoyingly, is kind of what you need for this next boss. So I'm just going to quickly pause the timer here and wait until it's done. Alright, we're back, and angelic form's up. You don't have to use that. You don't have to do that, sorry. But I prefer to have angelic form there because this guy does do some heavy hits, and you need to watch out. He'll take you down in 2 or 3 hits. So as soon as your defensive skills come off, you want to put angelic form on, and then you can take him down in one swoop, basically. Otherwise, you have to back off and wait for these 2 skills to come back to use them together. Yeah, which I did before when I was running this, but just because I like to make these guides for people who are weaker, so that's what I would do. And again, here I would wait for angelic form, but I won't do it for this time, just because I want to move on. So yeah, move in, use maim on the boss, keep cleaving until all the enemies are down. And normally now, when the 2 defensive skills come off, I pop angelic form, but because I don't have it, I'm going to run into trouble round about now, where I back off. I'll wait till I get defensive skills back. I'll run in and start taking down the enemies again. You can see my, what's it called? I can't remember what it's called now, but the skill rune for cleave, which drags in the enemies, you can see that interrupts the enemies a little bit. It's quite nice. Normal standard cleave does actually interrupt the enemies as well, but I like the skill rune version. Okay, here you have to run away a bit, wait for your defensive skills. You can just use a potion or whatever to get your health back up, but I like to do stuff without potions at all. So that was the event run. As you can see, very clean compared to the other ones, and if you do wait for angelic form, it's really quite easy. Wizards have a hard time in this event, which is strange because Wizards have been having an easy run for a long time now. Alright, let's have a look at what I get. 4 dragon stones. So we got the 2 worst drops, supposedly, and the second best drop. Quite unlikely. Anyway, thanks very much. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the tournament video, which should be coming up shortly after this one.